What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We have part two, well, I guess it's part two, whatever you want to call it, of preparing the GT4 for paint protection film. I picked up this car a couple weeks ago, and we're basically going through and getting it all cleaned up. Because the car has a full front PPF on it, I want to get the rest of the car paint protected and at least mitigate what could potentially happen. I do plan on tracking this car, so with the paint being what it is, I mean, if it was any color, I would probably still do it. But with this being a really rare paint to sample Porsche, I want to make sure I protect as much as I can. Obviously, the previous owner, there's a couple little nicks here and there that once everything's basically corrected and ready to go for clear, I'm going to touch up just a little bit. We're getting everything basically taped off. You'll see here, we don't have to do anything up front, so you're not going to see anything really taped off up front. It's literally the forward has film on it, but we're going through taping up all the trim. This is like a satin black trim, so we're gonna get that all taped up, windshields taped up. Really, there's nothing else to tape up on the sides. We've got the wing surrounds taped up. We'll tape this up last as we work back. There's still some water sitting in here. The car was washed a couple hours ago. Taillights we're not taping up because we're actually going to correct the taillights. I'll show you some of the spider, just like the little swirl marks going on in there. So there's no need to tape those off. We'll hit them then. Then rear bumper taped off, the plastic valance down here, GT4 emblem. Basically it's taped off for now, but when we do the clear brawl, when we pull this off, I'll go ahead and correct that all up as well. So when the clear brawl goes on, everything will be covered up. And again, you guys will see basically the same thing on this side. So we're gonna do a test panel probably on the roof first. Sonak's Perfect Finish, just try a one step with the yellow Rupes pad first. We're gonna start with the least aggressive. The paint's really not that bad. You guys probably, I mean, it's pretty bright in here, so the paint is very good. If anything, it's just some minor when direct sunlight hits it. So I'll do my best to show you here, but we're gonna figure out kind of what process works. This isn't gonna be a really in-depth detailing video. I just wanna share this with you, kind of what we're doing to get it ready to go for film. So the car's been washed, the surface has been prepped, so we're on to the correcting phase, and that's what we're gonna get to right now. So you guys might be able to see right there at the beam, where the beam of the light's coming up. See where the shadow is? Right above the shadow there's some imperfections. You can kind of see it right there. Things like that you wouldn't normally see if I take the light away and I come like this. See how it disappears? That's the kind of stuff I'm trying to hunt down. You can't see it at this angle. Look at the beam of light, you see all those minor swirling. So we'll get the tail light all cleaned up. That'll get clear brought as well. So that's the kind of stuff we're tracking down in here. You might be able to see that beam of light. We're gonna get rid of all those swirling marks and go get that nice, clean, crystal clear beam, a nice reflection. So when you put the clear bra on, you shouldn't see any of that. Day two, it was about 5-6 hours last night. Cody and I were working, got most of what we needed to get done completed. We just kind of ran out of steam by 2-3 in the morning, but we basically only have left the rear bumper under the deck lid here, and then the tail lights, and then I have to wrap up also the lower part of the rocker here. So what we did was we did the doors, A-pillars, roof, the rear quarter here, around the hatch, and then I also have to do the end plates and the wing yet. But the bumper is most likely going to need a two-step. So right now, Sonak's Perfect Finish has been able to effectively cut through this. It's not really quick passes, so we kind of have to go through and do about 4 passes. When I say 4 passes, one like this and another one like this. So one crosshatch is one pass. So about 4 passes at kind of a medium to slower arm speed. Perfect Finish is doing the job. So I'll have a link to that below. It's perfect one step with the Rupes yellow pad. But for the rear bumper, on the sides, it's able to take out everything we think. But over around the bumper here, there's some pretty heavier swirling and some pretty heavier nicks and stuff around here, and obviously around the emblem and stuff. The exhaust is really, really aggressive in this car, so it spits out just a lot of junk and everything. So there's kind of some staining and whatnot going on. It's hard to pick it up on camera, but that'll probably have to be microfiber cut with like Jescar correcting compound or something like that, and then come through with a foam pad and perfect finish to pull that out. So I'm gonna finish that up and then go over the car and just triple check everything, and you should be good to go. A couple minutes before in the video, this area you can see is much better in terms of swirling and spider webbing, and I did overlap on the taillight a little bit. So if you look at the top of the taillight, you'll see it's a little more clear than if I move the bulb down. You can kind of see the swirling there because I haven't gotten to this part yet. So we'll go through, and I'm pretty sure perfect finish of the one step with the yellow foam pad will be able to correct this out. Might have to jump down to the 3-inch or even the nano for the lower part of the headlight here, because it kind of dumps in and goes like that. So we got to get the headlights done as well, but we're getting there. This is Sonak's perfect finish, what I'm talking about. This is a really nice one step if you pair it with a Rupes yellow foam pad. This is usually my first step in when I make a test panel. I may usually use this combo first to see how the paint reacts. If it's softer paint, you should have no issues doing the whole car with this. We have a 15-inch and LR 15.2 Mark II Rupes, the 75 LE, which is the 3-inch. And a little pro tip, you guys will see a dirty pad here. I put dirty pads on, I save them for when I do the undersides, like the bottoms of the rockers here, just because naturally when you're trying to get kind of around under there, that's usually pretty still dirty under the car. So I save these, and then I'll use a clean pad when I go up, you know, to the normal painted areas. So that's what I'm kind of using. I don't have my air compressor here, so I basically just am using standard pad brush to kind of clean off the pad in between panels. We got a Scan Grip floor light over here that's charging up. I love this thing to change the brightness, the warmth. I have a Scan Grip regular light. You guys have seen this countless times. I love this thing. You can change it to hot, cold. Got a pen light, touch-up paint tool, some tape, more pads, microfiber pads. I've got the little nano pad. So the other polishing tools I have here is I have the little hybrid nano. So this guy is the nice battery-powered small tool. So he'll be good on the rear bumper area, getting around some of those tight areas, you know, in here next to the bumper guard and up through here. So it'll be really nice to get in there. And then I just have another bag, just a Rupes bag that I transport stuff to the shop with. Other than that, clay bar, some speed shine, some Iron X for some iron fallout deposits that are randomly near the bottom of the car. And then I just have some microfiber towels right here, some Ultra Plush, I think from the Rag Company microfiber towels. So yeah, that's basically the tools I'm using. I'll have everything kind of linked below for you if you're interested in checking it out. That about wraps up the paint correcting process. The car turned out really good. I'm super happy with it. For it being a pre-owned car, it's really not that bad. I'm just way more OCD than most people. So for it being what it is, unfortunately, you know, when you're buying pre-owned, you just have to deal with what you get and then try to get it to your level, and then understand the fact that, you know, it is pre-owned and the person before you have no clue what they're doing, or just not care. A lot of people just don't care, especially when you start getting up that ranks in cars. They just, I'll get a new one, you know. So really taking the time to dial this thing in and get it, you know, acceptable for me, to represent me, especially too, since we're putting paint protection film on what's there. I have to get it up to par, so where at least when the PPF goes on, it's sealed in there, and get it the best I can get it, so when the PPF goes on, it's not going to change or get worse. So the only thing that's left that I have to do is I got the tape off the car. You guys can see it here. Turned out really, really nice. Biggest issue was under here, so there was a lot of just staining and everything going on. So I was able to remove that and use a two-step on that, so microfiber, at least down here. The rest of the bumper I was able to get with just the perfect finish. So I used Jescar correcting compound down here on a microfiber Meguiar's pad, and then finished it with a yellow pad and Sonak's perfect finish. So there's a couple little rock chips up there. Put some little tape marks on there, and then go through and touch up all the little areas. All I'm doing is just want to cover up the white. that's under the paint, right? So I just want to cover that up so that way when the PPF goes on top, we don't have a bubble that's going on there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll kind of show you some of the areas. Done a whole video on touch-up paint and touch-up areas. Larry Casilla gave me the idea for the little pen dropper that he has, and then for the low areas, you got to use kind of a toothpick. So once we wrap up the touch-up, then it should be ready for the film. What I've done is I've gone around and I've put little pieces of tape. The areas that are kind of upright like this, not ones that are directly on the side. So for instance, right here, if the camera will focus, there you can see right there, there's a spot there. Here, I'm going to use this tool. Larry Casilla from Ammo NYC did a video I think a year or two ago, and I've actually done a video on touching up paint, but this tool is great. So what you do is you put basically some paint in there, and you can just go through and you can, I'll do it right on the tape here, you can go through and just dot and fill in. I don't want to put so much paint on here that it raises it up and bubbles it, because then the film will show. All I want to do is change the color of this chip to basically green. So think of it that way. All I want to do for these chips are change the color, since film's going over top of it. If we fill it in and make it too much, then we have to sand that down, because then the film will look bubbled. So all these minor chips, I'm going to go through and use this tool to fill it in. For the stuff that's on the side that I can't use a tool for because there's no cap and stuff will fall out, I'll use a toothpick, and I'll just dab with the tip of a toothpick and go through and do that. That's gonna wrap up this video. Thank you for watching. I know it's been kind of a longer video. The touch-up paint is done. I'm gonna leave the tape marks that I have basically on the car until it dries, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to look to make sure I don't need a second coat on anything. Next up, we'll be doing clear brawl. I'm going to try to film that. Depending on when it's going to get done, my schedule might not allow for it. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys give this video a nice big thumbs up so we boost it up in YouTube's algorithm. Make sure you guys are subscribed, so click that red subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified of future uploads. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at Troy Sowers. We'll see you guys on the next one.